Hi everybody, it's Amanda again. It is November and time for our Q&A for Patreon. We have some awesome questions this month. So let me go ahead and pull up the first question from Annabelle. She wants to know more how our multidimensional selves work. So let me read this here. Does our current 5D self know and interact with our other selves and share information? Do the lessons we learned in those lives all merge back into one being or spread across all of us? Obviously not for our current lives unless we choose that. Do we get our combined knowledge base back even for currently existing fractals of ourselves, like ones that are still in lives? Okay. So when I was getting ready, the first image I was getting was, there's us on Earth living our Earth lives. And then, they're showing me up here, but really it's not up here from Earth. It's like other dimensionally. If you pull us out of this and we're less solid, like we still are individual, but less physical. And we have knowledge of that life. Let me see if we have knowledge of others. We have knowledge of all the Earth lives from that perspective that we've ever lived. So we've got all that information stays with us. Well, they're saying it's accessible to us. Okay, because you have the understanding, but if you need to pull the details, you just tap. It's like they're saying you tap the collective consciousness for that, because all the details from that life, I mean, you can literally access every microscopic detail, but you don't need all of that. You don't need to carry all that around. So you have the understanding that you got from all of those lives, and you can, it's like, for our brains, we have to look for it in our minds. But when we're in this other dimension, we just have access to it. It's like it's stored in there's a field of the collective consciousness. It's stored there. It's all the details of every experience and everything for everybody, everywhere, every time. So yeah, we just have access to that. So I want to know if from that, because I can feel that there's the Earth, there's this, where we're doing the Earth life things and we can access our other information. But I feel like there's other, there's other levels that get closer and closer to source where we're just all one consciousness together, no body, all knowledge. So, so I was asking, I'm just going to have to put phase names to this so you'll know what I'm talking about. So let's call Earth phase 1, and this phase 2, where we have access to all the information from all of our Earth lives. So that's like phase 2. And then, so let's just say there's like a phase 3 where you're, so phase 2, you're sort of focused on your Earth experiences. You're not stuck, but that's what your focus is. You're not, you're just going to keep going through that, cycles of that, until you're satisfied with the amount that you've learned there, or whatever purpose you have there. So then there's another where you're out. It's bigger than just the Earth. It's other experiences, other places. There's like a depth and a breadth to this that I can only explain in layers. So, maybe there's another layer that has all the galactic lives, and and so you would have access to all that and the stuff from your Earth lives and whatever. But if you're going to higher experiences, it's kind of like us trying to access galactic information from our Earth perspective. Like, we don't have the knowledge base at this, where we're trying to experience things at this level. We don't have the knowledge base of our galactic selves. So, like, if I have another aspect on a galactic ship somewhere, I can't tell you how to work the controls. I'm not doing that right now. I'm focused on this Earth stuff right now, and I don't have access to that because there's no point to it, because I'm on Earth. I mean, unless you're a person that wants to come here and explain galactic things, and then I suppose you could. But so there's like different levels of focus, I guess is a good way to put it. And it just depends on what you want to experience. If you want the experience of knowing all of your lives and what you did and what you learned and why you experienced them and why you decided to do that and what was the purpose of that, then yeah, there's an aspect of you that can go know everything. I mean, let me see. If you die from here, yeah, if when you die from this life, you want to know all of that, you want to know about all your other lives, all your galactic lives, all your other dimensional lives, all of your, even what it's like to be part of Source. I mean, you can access that, but it just seems like, I mean, that's the real us. And right now, we're trying to experience what it's like not to be the real us, to feel separate and to feel individual and like a really narrow focus and a really narrow experience. That's what we're doing right now. So yes, we can access that, but when we're focused on doing the Earth thing, we don't, like, why would we want to know that? That's what we are. We're trying to do this. So, we don't want to do that. But of course, being inside of this, we're like, wait, I feel like there's something else. And so we're trying to get back to that. And ultimately, I feel like if you look at us as Source, us all together, we're all back together and we're Source. So we go out. It's like kind of like the Big Bang, really. Like, we expand out, not just like boom. Well, it depends on how you think of time. So we expand out and we're like, oh, let's learn this. Oh, let's learn this. Oh, let's go out here and learn this. And oh, let's go do this. Oh, wait, I can think of some more stuff over here to do. And I can, so we go out and we gather experiences, and then we bring it all back to the one. So I feel like we're on the outer edge of our expansion, and we're about to start bringing it all back in together. Does that make sense? Or is that just like so much more complicated? So ultimately, okay, even inside of this life, we have access to everything, because, you can do past life regressions and you can see future lives. Like, time doesn't matter. You can still access all of that, or at least, some people can. It depends on what you want to do with this life. And even if you didn't plan to, you probably still can find out that information, but some of it won't make sense from our perspective. It's like, I'm sure I've used this analogy before, but if you brought Christopher Columbus into the present and you showed him a cell phone, he would have no basis for understanding. Like he didn't go through the evolution of, the invention of the telephone, and the invention of the television and the invention of wireless things and, stuff like that. So, you show him a cell phone and he's going to be like, no idea what that is and don't care, where's my ship or whatever. I want to go explore. So, I mean, I think that's what they're saying. We don't, there's levels of focus that we choose. And it feels like experience is the thing. We just want to go and experience and try different things and then bring it all back to the one. And that just, I don't know what that does for the one. It's just expansion. It just feels like expansion. You just, how we sort of grow as a person. I guess that's the only analogy they can give us. Source grows as a being or isness or something like that. Okay. Oh, that makes sense. Okay. Next question. The yogic scientists say when a man and a woman have sex, they both transfer their own memories to their lovers. Is this true? And can you explain what really is going on? I don't have that experience. I don't seem to have the memories of anybody else. So, and I don't think they have any of my memories that I'm aware of, but I don't know. Like, do you have to consciously, let's ask, if you have to like consciously exchange that or. Okay. So it's the openness. It's the willingness to be open and share with somebody on an intimate level. And we can all do this without sex. I mean, we can share our memories and experiences and feeling. That's what telepathy is. It's an exchange, but you have to be open to it and you have to be open to that level of intimacy, because when you share a telepathic thought, it's not just you're saying words like, I want you to pick up milk while you're at the grocery store. But like if you're sending someone like, I love our children so much, you're not just getting the words, you're getting the feeling of that person's experience of loving their children, So and there's uh, a thought process where when we're walking around in our everyday lives consciously thinking, there are so many it's like a part of our mind is working, and the part, maybe not of our mind but of our consciousness, that we need to use to send and receive those messages is, I don't want to say blocked, but we're putting our focus on something else. We're putting our focus on mechanical, the mechanics of, I need to make a grocery list and I can't forget to send that email to so-and-so and stuff like that. So, but if you are not thinking about that, which hopefully when you're having sex, you're not thinking about sending emails to people, but when you're at that level of connection with somebody, that's the level that you need. You need the focus. You need to get rid of the past and future and focus on the right now and focus on that one person, and with the intention that you're going to exchange thoughts, your histories, your emotions, whatever. And you can do that at any time, but you have to get in that space of, my intention is to be in the present and to exchange information with this other person, and they have to be receptive to it too. You can't just go, I want to send them a message, because if they're making their grocery list or sending an email to somebody, they're not, I mean, they may get a flash of something, but they're not going to, equate that to, oh, somebody's trying to talk to me telepathically. They're not, it's, you have to have the intention. It has to be on both sides, just like a telephone, I guess. You can call somebody, but if they don't pick up, you can't talk to them. So, okay. On manifestation, some channelers say you don't need to take action, but to be present and in your heart space. And other channelers say you need to take action. What's going on here? It depends on where you are. It depends on where you personally are. How do I explain this? If you're at a place where you can imagine and visualize what you want to manifest very clearly, and you can feel it, like you have it. There's no doubt that you're going to get that thing. It's yours. It's like when I came to look at this house, I probably told these same stories over and over again. When I came to look at this house, I had this feeling that it was mine. Like I walked around it and it just felt familiar. Like maybe I was tapping into the future me, and I just like, well, yeah, this is my house. And so when I called my realtor to put an offer in on it, he said, okay. And then he called me back and said, I wasn't aware that it was under contract, and I don't know why they didn't tell me when you went to go see it. And I thought, that's weird, because I just know it's my house. Like, that can't be right. Well, it turns out the person who was under contract couldn't get financing, and I wasn't going to ask for anything to be fixed. There were a lot of things that needed to be fixed, and I wasn't going to ask for that because the price was really good. But apparently the person that was under contract had asked for a lot of things to be fixed, and they had fixed those before he found out he couldn't get financing. So I got the house with everything fixed. So I knew it was my house. I got the house in spite of what it looked like. Now, if you're in a place where, you think, everybody says you should be able to do this, but I don't really believe it, but I'm going to try, and I'm just going to visualize that I win $1 million. Like your brain is like, there's no way, your mind is full of these thoughts like, it's not going to work. I've never had this work. It's not going to work now. You're not in a place where you can try to win $1 million or whatever. But maybe if you start smaller with like, I'm going to find a penny every week somewhere I'm going to find a penny every single week. And that's your intention. And you can see yourself. That's easy to see, right? Because you find pennies in a parking lot, or you find pennies on the floorboard of your car, or, you're cleaning your house and there's a penny on the floor. That's not hard to believe. So you can visualize that, and that can happen. Even if you didn't find any pennies for the entire past year, your mind can rationalize that that's legit. I could manifest pennies. That's not too hard. So you might have to work up to it, Now, you can also hold a vision for what you want and take steps to manifest it at the same time. The problem with that, this is what we already do, right? I want groceries. I make a list. I go to the grocery store. I don't sit here and go, I want to manifest that all the groceries are here in my house. And then I go to the fridge and, wow, they're all here. Like, I don't believe I could do that. So that's not going to work for me. So we still, that's what we do. We take actions to manifest what we want. But you can also take actions toward a goal, but be open. Don't be so narrow focused, like, I want to build a house, or I want a new house. And so you've got some money and you start researching, you start looking into what steps you need to take to build a house. Don't be so narrow in your focus that that's the only way you can get the house. Because if you start to build a house and you've got the money in the bank and you've hired a builder and they've come and they've, torn up your yard, and then somebody says, look at this house over here, it's half of what the price should be, and it's exactly what you're looking for. Don't go, I'm sorry, I've already started building my house. This is the thing I'm going to do. Because that other thing might be what you're manifesting. And it's quicker. It's already here, right? But if you're so narrow focused that you're like, it has to come to me in this way because I am taking the steps to do this, that's where the taking action will screw you up and get you less than what you're trying to manifest. Let me see what else I want to say about that. Yeah, they just want to say, like, my favorite quote is from Jim Carrey. He said, well, first of all, he wrote himself a check for like $10 million or something like that for acting services because he wanted to make money. He wanted to be a famous actor. So he carried that in his wallet for a long time. But as he says, you can't just visualize and then go eat a sandwich. Like you can't, he can't just like put a check in his wallet and then just sit on his couch and watch TV for months and months. You have to go to auditions. You have to do something. I mean, you may actually manifest by doing that, but it might take 50 years or something. But if you take some steps towards that, it sometimes will get the energy going in that direction. So like my example with the building a house. So you start taking action in that direction, but don't limit yourself. Be open to other options that come in and things that might make it easier and quicker and better than you had thought. Does that make sense? Like you can manifest somebody bringing you an apple. If you say, I'm hungry, I want someone to bring me some food, somebody might walk in, I know I've said this, somebody might walk in and say, oh, I found all these apples in the break room or whatever. Do you want one? And you're like, haha, I manifested myself an apple. That's how it works. You think of what you want and then you'll start to see things that'll help you get what you want. If you are open-minded. If you're closed-minded and you don't believe any of it, then it's not going to work. You're not going to manifest anything. And you can visualize all day long and nothing will happen. But if you believe it and you see it and you know it, it's just hard for us to imagine, manifesting something that big. But I mean, like I've said before, that the addition that we haven't finished still, but but that addition, I've been thinking about that addition for 10 years and I don't know how it's going to be, but I have, have a picture of what I want and, I can feel myself in that. I can see my kids in that space, and just somebody just happened to give me a ton of money because they wanted, well, not a ton, a lot. It's a lot more than I was blown away. Just like, I just couldn't imagine somebody unrelated to me trying to give me money to build the extension when they didn't even really know anything about me or that I wanted, it's just like stuff, it happens. It's for real. I wanted to go to Disney. I wanted to take the kids to Disney. Didn't know how I was going to do it years ago. My in-laws took us to Disney, not once, but 3 different times. Crazy. I mean, I never expected that. And every expense paid, our airfare, our spending money, our food, even our souvenirs. And granted, I have awesome in-laws, but why Disney? Why not anything else? Like I wanted to go to Disney. We went when I was little once. I wanted my kids to have that experience. Anyway, I'm going on and on and on. You get the picture. You could do it either way, but if you don't believe that you can manifest by just visualizing, you won't be able to do it. You just won't. Some people can manifest by visualizing. I've done it. Other people have done it. You just have to be open to the idea that it's possible. And then you will start seeing videos and testimonials. You'll start overhearing people. There'll be books that'll come in your awareness. And you'll just like wonder, why have I never seen this before? It's because you didn't believe it. You have to open your mind up to the possibilities for you to see, the evidence of it. And if you don't have your eyes open, somebody can set a book down in front of you and you won't ever notice that it says, I manifested myself being a millionaire by, visualizing, but you'll never see it because you don't believe that. So you won't even notice it. Somebody will set it right in front of you and your consciousness will say that doesn't exist because you don't believe it can. Anyway, enough about that. I wrote out a bunch of stuff about manifesting, and I am going to record it and I am going to put it up on YouTube. So, and Mark, I am going to send it to you after I finish this. I'll just copy it into an email for you or something. Anyway. Okay. Hope that helped at all.